Halo Infinite, Psychonauts 2, and a new Fable game. Let's talk about the latest Xbox Games Showcase. Welcome to the Captain Spandex Show. What's up, everybody? I'm Captain Spandex, and I took a look at the entire Xbox event recently. Took a bunch of notes, and we're going to run through sort of the condensed version, give you a look at the good, the bad, and the ugly of the event, and show you some video clips as well. Quick mention that I do own all the Sony and Microsoft systems, and I do love them all. Generally, I've favored Xbox systems. However, the PS4, I think I've liked more, even although the game with Game Pass and a 4K disc player, Xbox One S is still up there. But yeah, so we're excited to see this. Let's take it out, take a look at it now. The first game that they showed, they actually opened up with Halo Infinite. There is no surprise here that they showed Halo. I'm a little surprised that they opened up with it, but seeing the rest of the show, I can kind of understand why. Yeah, so this one showcased more open areas. You had a map with icons. You had a grapple hook that Master Chief used to latch onto enemies. So it's kind of interesting, very kind of quiet after the bombastic opening cutscene. Felt very open looking. The music was, as always, fantastic. So yeah, it looked good. Fluid animation, fluid movement, 60 frames per second they mentioned. Now, it didn't look revolutionary to me, but it did look fun. It's definitely more Halo. So we're curious about that one. It looked cool. You know, I'm kind of a Halo fan. I definitely fell off of it, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see where they go with that. By the way, I should mention that Phil Spencer said that all the games shown will be on Game Pass, which is awesome. That's basically free for me to play. They talked next about Forza real quick. They didn't show too much on that. You know, people love that series. That's what Microsoft does. They show Forza, so that's good for people who like racing games. They then teased a new State of Decay. I'm actually a little surprised about that. I never played the first two. I have watched Let's Plays, and they seem very interesting, very buggy though. So hopefully this one, it'll run smooth right out of the gate. And because I really wanted to be playing them, but kind of like turned off by the jank in the trank. Let's see here. Next, they showed Everwild. This indie title looks stunning. It seems to be focused a lot on exploration. There's a lot of nature, flora and fauna, a lot of animals, which all may tie into the gameplay of it. Having all those animals there. And everything like that. So I'm quite intrigued on that one, which, by the way, I should mention I didn't do that. Holiday 2020 for Halo Infinite. They did not give an exact release date. And then some other stuff they showed real quick. They showed Tell Me Why, I believe it was called, which is a narrative walking sim. Kind of like a Life is Strange type situation from Don't Nod. I'm not really big on that subgenre, but it's a thing. They then showed Ori in 4K at 120 Hz. Normally, I don't really care about that stuff too much, but I will say Ori games, they are some of the best looking games ever, I'd argue. So having them in 4K, 120 Hz, I actually kind of think that's cool. Alright, next up, okay, they're now owned by Microsoft. Obsidian showed 3 games, which is pretty crazy, right in a row. First they showed, well, not really a game, but expansions for Outer Worlds, which it looks fun. That's a great game, Outer Worlds. I still have not beaten it, but I definitely enjoyed it. It's kind of a throwback to that sort of Fallout New Vegas style of open world, choice-driven insanity. They gave a reminder that Grounded hits early access July 28th. Grounded is basically Honey, I Shrunk the Kids with survival and crafting focus. I will say I'm not huge on this subgenre, but the little guy in a big world gimmick has me intrigued. I do want to play this. Plus, like all the games shown here, apparently it will be free on Game Pass. Not just free early access, but free the game entirely, which is awesome. So I'm absolutely going to play it. Stay tuned for a Let's Play on that. Now, Obsidian capped it off by teasing a brand new fantasy RPG, a new IP. There's really nothing to show here, but it's still kind of exciting. Obsidian is red hot right now, and a new IP, and it's a fantasy RPG, which seems to fit right in their comfort zone. That's kind of cool. What we have next here? What we have next? Kept it up. Okay. Oh, the game's called Avowed, by the way. It's called Avowed, so we really don't know much about that. Now, As Dusk Falls was another one. Super teaser. It's an indie game. I don't really have anything to say about it. It didn't show anything. I don't know anything. Right. Hellblade was next. Hellblade's a big one. Hellblade, the sequel. Hellblade's a weird game. It's kind of hard to explain, but one of the interesting things is an interview with Game Informer, the developers said that the game is not fun, the first game, which is true because I played it. It's not fun, but it is engaging. You're like going through. She has I forget the exact illness she has, but she has hallucinations, kind of like a psychopath, where you have auditory and visual hallucinations, and that ties into the puzzle and the gameplay mechanics. So I definitely enjoyed it. That's a pretty big one. It's Ninja Theory, right? Yeah, Team Ninja does Neo. Ninja Theory is pretty good. So that's a good one, although we didn't really see anything. That's why I'm not showing anything. But I do have footage from the new Psychonauts game, Psychonauts 2. It is from Double Fine, which is another Microsoft acquisition. Psychonauts, if you don't know, basically has you diving into weird minds of people to see their inner thoughts. It's very quirky. You almost have like a Tim Burton-esque visuals, at least to the first one. It is an interesting game, and the sequel, it could be a sleeper hit. We'll see. Double Fine's very talented studio. I think they're underrated, and I hope this game nails it. And yes, Jack Black is singing a silly ballad, so that can't be bad. And then we get to some other stuff, some quick stuff. Stalker 2, I don't know anything about the first game. The trailer looked sparse but intriguing. Not really much there. Warhammer Dark Tide teaser trailer. It says in 2021. Not much shown here either. That series has a strong following, Warhammer. I honestly never dove into it, but it's kind of intimidating. The lore, from what I've been told, is pretty epic. Let's see, Tetris Effect coming to Xbox. Yeah, that's actually kind of cool for me because I've been wanting to play this for a while. I hear really good things about it. And now it's going to be on Game Pass. Coming, it says Holiday 2020. I get to play it for free. Woo! That's an exciting one. Let's see, we have The Gunk. The Gunk, I'm not really sure what to say on this one. It looks interesting. They actually did show what appears to be gameplay on that one, and so yeah, again, that one we don't know much about, but that one actually looks kind of cool. They showed The Medium. That is a creepy, dark thing going on there. I don't really. A lot of these games aren't really getting me personally super excited, I must tell you. But they have The Medium, Phantasy Star Online 2. People, I think that was now it's coming in the U.S., right? That was the big thing. I don't really know too much about that one. And then they ended with a title card for a new Fable. They showed a little cutscene in the beginning, basically nothing there. It was like a frog eating a thing. That didn't really end super strong. Like, a new Fable is a crazy good announcement. There's been speculation about that, but I think a lot of people didn't think it would happen. The last Fable wasn't received super well, so that's a big question mark, but that could be awesome, a new Fable. I know people love that series, and if they can nail that, that absolutely could be a big hit for Microsoft, but the key word is if, you know. So that's it, honestly. Final thoughts. Wasn't a great showing, I gotta say. You know, I think Microsoft killed it with the Xbox 360. I was a huge fan. It's one of my favorite systems ever. But I think their emphasis on the Kinect really messed them up for a while, and they're still kind of recovering from that. So it's a little rough. I think, you know, I will say this. Microsoft has two aces in the hole, or ace in the holes, whatever that is. They have Game Pass, which is one of the coolest things ever in gaming. Game Pass is incredible, and it just keeps getting better. I honestly thought that that would go away. It's so good. I thought, how is this even profitable? But they're really pushing for it. That is super cool. And the other thing is they have acquired a lot of studios recently, or at least in the past couple of years. So the thing is, though, it takes like 4 years or so to make a good game. So the problem for them is they have to wait for these studios that they bought up to actually make a good game and put it out here. So if they can like hold steady for that 3 to 5 year period of time, they could really bring the thunder in that time. But right now, as of what we're seeing with launch, I think it looks a little bad for them. I'm not going to say that press F and all that. Like, let's not go there, okay? Because the thing is, you never can tell how things are going to shake out. Like the 360 I was mentioning killed it. Destroyed the PlayStation 3 in the beginning, but eventually PS3 did outsell the 360, even with all those missteps. Nintendo Wii U, after that, everybody kind of like wrote off Nintendo. Like, are they, is this the beginning of the end? Are they just going to go into game development? There's at least some speculation of that, and then they come out with the Switch. So things can change on a dime. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. How was the event for you? If you're a big Microsoft fan, if you're not a big Microsoft fan, I have a feeling I know what you're gonna say. But I'm curious to see people who are super fans of Xbox systems, because I like them both. I like all the systems. I have a Switch, I have the PS4, I have Xbox One S, and they all are great in their own kind of way, especially with Game Pass. Xbox One S with the Game Pass and the 4K UHD player, that really elevates it. Not high enough to PS4 status for me, but it definitely brings it higher. So let me know what you think, guys, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye, everybody. Bye.